Hi everybody, Paul here from Hill Country Rings. We got another custom Major League bat ring request, and this is for a bat from Greg Bird of the New York Yankees. So let's go in the shop. Alright, for you guys that watch my videos, you know that I don't have anything against Greg Bird or the New York Yankees or Major League Baseball in particular, but I do make rings from these broken Major League Baseball bats. So I got a customer that sent me this bat, and first thing I'm going to do is going to chop it all up into little pieces, good size to make rings, and then we're going to stabilize it in resin. So that's the first step, so let's get started. This is always the funnest part. Alright, here's the anatomy of a baseball bat. Of course, got the name section. This is a nice big section. I like to keep this intact so I can take pictures with the original name of and all the labels and stuff for the bat. This is the piece that the meat of the bat that I can make rings out of. Good size, round, and unbroken. This is of course where it cracked. It originally cracked here, and when I cut over here, this was still kind of fractured, so it cracked right here. And then of course, like the little handle, and sometimes I make bottle openers or things like that with the handle. So that's the anatomy of a baseball bat. So now we're going to go take the meat and cut him into little slices, about 10 or so millimeters thick. Alright, I cut up a number of the little poker chips of the bat for rings. Some of them I made a little bit thin because I'll be doing some inlay rings, and those are thinner than an overlay ring. And some of them I did kind of fat for bigger rings. And I'm going to go ahead and put the end of the bat, the rest of the meat that I'll cut up later, of course the handle and the broken pieces, and put it up on the shelf with the rest of my sluggers here. Got quite a collection that I can make rings out of. Alright, let's just go ahead and put them in the resin. I know this resin looks kind of gross because I've had some other black bats, and some of the black kind of comes into the resin. It really doesn't hurt the wood though. It makes me make just a tiny bit more grain pattern, so actually it kind of helps it. But it doesn't hurt it really at all. And so we get everybody in there. Alright, we got everybody in there under the resin. I'll put the lid on. Sure it's gonna be good. Turn on the pump. And we close it off. And we do this slowly. Alright, it's been under vacuum for about 5 hours, so I'm going to go ahead and release the vacuum. And now we'll let it sit still under the resin for overnight. We'll let that resin flow back into that wood, take the place of that air that got sucked out. Alright, the wood has been soaking overnight in Dawn dishwashing liquid. No, actually it's in resin. And we are going to lay the little round pellets out and Then put them in the little oven. And what this does is it stabilizes the resin. It hardens the resin inside the wood. And you see that black paint on the bat, that resin actually sort of eats it off. So that's not a problem though. So get these guys all out. A lot of times people ask, hey, I thought that bat was a black bat, but the piece of wood you're using doesn't have a black finish. Well, as you can see, the spin of the night and the resin, it kind of strips off that black finish. It kind of comes off kind of gooey, and I'll just get rid of this, and then that way when I'm stabilizing the wood in the little oven, it doesn't stink so bad. So that's why sometimes the wood, you know, from a black bat, it's not going to have that finish when I show you the piece of wood that I'm working with. All right, let's get the cookies in the oven. Put these little wood pellets in, and then let them stabilize at about 200 degrees for a little over an hour. All right, they pretty much cool off, and now we've got a bunch of pieces for making rings. Alright, a few days have passed. We've got that titanium inlay and a piece of wood from that New York Yankees bat ready to process. What we're going to go ahead and do is turn this guy flat on the lathe, and then we're going to bore him out with a 22mm Forstner bit to fit this inlay. And then we will make sure that we sand him, and I think he is 6mm. This channel is, yeah, that's right at 6mm. So we'll sand this so that it'll fit in that channel, and then we'll mount the wood to the titanium inlay. So let's go ahead and get started on that. Alright, if you're familiar with the videos, you know that nothing puts me in a good mood like some good old-fashioned hand sanding. So we're going to sand this piece of Yankees bat until it fits right in that groove. So let's get to it. Alright, now we're just going to go ahead and cut some little relief cuts here, and then we'll give him the, go ahead and snap him, and then see how he fits around that, that core. Alright, let's see how he's going to fit. Oh, he's pretty tough. There we go. Maybe a little bit of sanding right there. right there, but I think where he's going to fit good. All right, now we just gotta let him cure overnight. All right, here's that Yankees Major League Baseball bat ring inlay. It's been cured overnight. Now the epoxy's nice and hard. So we're gonna go ahead and cut him down a little bit on the bandsaw, get him a little closer, and then put him on the lathe and turn him to size, sand him, and then put on some finish. So let's get started on that. All right, here's that Yankees baseball bat on titanium core. Looks pretty good and ready to send out to the customer. If you would like a ring made from a Major League Baseball bat, from the deck of a battleship, from the wood from an M1 Garand, please check out my website. It's hillcountryrings.com. And I'd love to make a ring for you. Thanks, everybody.